gentlemen, Richard Kenobi here, back again to bring you another review for Korra Book 4, and today we have episodes 8 and 9. So, without wasting any time, let's go ahead and get into reviewing, shall we? So, episode 8, this, to mine and everyone else's surprise, was a clip show. Now, of course, we all know how we hate clip shows, you know. They're just a chance, they're just there to catch up the viewer on what's happened seasons earlier and just have them overall look back at what's going on now. And the reason, interesting fact and true fact, the reason why Korra has a clip show, or this episode in particular is a clip show, is because the animators had a very low budget, so they had to figure out a way to sort of let the viewer and the fans catch a breath of fresh air and just overall have a good time. And so that's when they decided to do a clip show. Now, I am not a fan of them myself, but watching this episode, it was pretty good. I mean, sure, it does suffer some of the clip show falls, or flaws. So, let's go ahead and just take a look at it and see if it's good and is it worth checking out. So, let's go ahead. So, of course, you know, we see that Mako is training Prince Wu, and, you know, he's being a little harsh, but then Prince Wu finally asks, you know, why is he so uptight? Was he ever cool once? But then, he's asking him, and everyone else is asking him, tell us a story. So, Mako decides to tell us all the events that took place between Season 1 and Season 2, because Mako was not around for Season 3 that much. And I love every time he tells an important story or gets up to a certain point, you know, Prince Wu or somebody's going to interrupt and they're going to question it. And he gives them the best answer he can. And I think the funniest one was where he tells them he dated the Avatar, and Prince Wu and all the others, you know, they're saying, well, why did it work out? And he says, I don't want to talk about it. So that was pretty funny, but it was pretty sad, too, because Korra and Mako could have been a good relationship, but then Season 2 chucked that idea out the window. Thanks a lot. So, yeah. So, immediately after this, you know, Prince Wu and everyone, you know, starts to look at Mako a little differently, and I like that, you know, he's not always this uptight. He was pretty awesome back in Season 1, and pretty damn awesome in Season 2, but now we get to Asami and Korra, who tell their stories from Season 1 to Season 3. And this would have been the perfect opportunity for Korra and Asami to try and bond with each other to regain, you know, that girl friendship that they both have. Because, interesting fact, Korra and Asami aren't so different. I mean, yes, Korra is the Avatar, and she has all of the bending abilities, while Asami is a non-bender. But that doesn't mean they aren't similar, because Korra is the Avatar, the most powerful person in the planet. However, Asami was the daughter of one of the richest and most creative persons from the planet. So, immediately, it was a rich girl and a powerful girl coming together and just being friends. And I like that. You know, because Korra and Asami's friendship has much more chemistry than, I would say, Korra and Mako and Korra and Bolin's. So, yeah. But, unfortunately, we didn't get much of that here, you know, because this would have been the perfect time for them to just look back, have a chuckle or two, and just, you know, overall have fun. But, no, we don't get that. Now, that's not saying that it's not bad. It's just a little lacking with the other one. but it was overall okay. Now, the main one that's my favorite is the one with Varric and Bolin. Now, all you need to know is, because I don't want to spoil what Varric says at the ending, you have to go check it out, and he actually does bring up a good point, but I will sum it up like this. It's pretty much where Bolin and Varric are still on the ship, heading to Republic City, and they tell stories to the fugitives how they weren't always, you know, the poor sacks of idiots in Korra's ranks. They were actually once good people. And they tell them the story from the events that took place from season 2. Bolin tells his stories from season 1 to season 3, and Varric tells his stories from season 2 to season 3. And immediately, I like both of their versions because immediately it's true versus true with a little bit of made-up stuff to, you know, try and entertain the fugitives. And that is so good. I can't do this justice, guys. You have to go watch the episode, and trust me, this one is the best one of all of them. And this is probably going to be the last time we get something like this from Avatar, because this is the last season of Korra, and it was nice. Now, was it as good as the last Airbenders clip show, Ember Island? Not so much, no. But it was pretty damn close. So, overall, I liked it, I enjoyed it. Some of their flashbacks were pretty damn good. Like I said, Asami's and Korra could have been better, but it was overall decent. So, overall, I give it a 7 out of 10. Really enjoyable. Now, let's go ahead and get up to the more recent episode. Spirit in the Wild. So it opens up where we see a bunch of travelers or people on a field trip. You know, they're just exploring, you know, the spirit forest, but then out of nowhere they're abducted, and this attracts the attention of Jinora. I apologize. I just mixed Jinora with Korra. How do I even do that? So she senses what's going on, but Korra doesn't. So then Ubu, Korra, and Jinora go over to the spirit forest and see what's going on. And Korra is able to use her spirit telepathy to see what's going on and why the spirit forest is acting up. And it's because Korra and her troops have located the spirit tree and are cutting down the vines. And Korra senses this, and it's upsetting the natural balance between the spirits. And that's the reason why the spirit forest is going crazy. So Korra and Ubu take this news to the Republic Council while Jinora tries to see if she can help. And we see finally for the first time Fire Lord Azumi is in here, and I was so happy because, you know, I've wanted to see Azumi in here for a while, but we haven't, but it was good to see her. Now, of course, she's not going to play a big part in this season, but fingers crossed, guys. So yeah, Korra and Ubu tell them what's going on. But then, moments later, we see that Bolin and Varric have made it back to Republic City, and at first they're almost thrown out, but when they tell the entire Republic Council and Mako, Korra, and Ubu what's going on, that immediately gets all of their attention, and they have to stop Korra. And what I like about this is this actually felt like an actual reunion episode rather than the previous episode's reunion, because, you know, Bolin has received so much character development since then, and he's immediately now one of my favorite characters from this season. So, yeah. So, Korra and Ubu go back to the Spirit Force to try and see if they can do anything. But of course, some of the council members have doubt because, you know, she's not the same Avatar. She lost her fight with Korra, and she's pretty much still rusty, and she still has guilt. But then, when they can't go inside, Korra finds she has to go in the spirit world. But then, to her shock, she's blocked out by Sahir. And the only way she can get rid of him doing what he did to her for good is by going to meet him face to face. So, Tenzin disagrees with this because he doesn't want her to get hurt like Jinora, but he immediately understands, and he lets her go. So then Mako and Korra go all the way up into the mountains to see him, and Korra has to go in his cell alone. And it's here that we actually see Sahir a bit different. You know, now he's changed. He's seen the error of his ways because of what Corvira is doing. Because Sahir wasn't necessarily a bad guy. He wasn't a villain. He just wanted to rid the world of dictators and let the world go back into the hands of the people. But by doing so, he created the worst dictator of all. And Korra is able to convince him, and he is finally seen the error of his ways, and he is on the side of righteousness. And he actually helps her get back into the spirit world. And I like that. I like it when enemies become friends. I mean, even though Korra doesn't forgive him for what he's done, but she's trying to. So that was pretty nice. So then after that, we see Korra is now in the spirit world, and she's able to locate Jinora and free her and the others. And then it pretty much ends where, you know, we see that Bolin is talking to Ubu, trying to win her back, trying to win her love back for him. And she asks him if he wants to help her go to Zafu to rescue her family. And he does. And that's where it ends. This was back to basics, and I like this episode. You know, everything is nice. The action was good, the comedy was good, every character shined here and there, and I loved it. Like, words cannot describe how awesome it is. And I liked how we got to see Sahir one more time, and he wasn't just tossed aside like the previous villains. And I like how he has seen the error of his ways, and he actually helps Korra, and he brings up a good point. Maybe she wasn't blaming him for what he did to her, but she was using him as a crutch to hide her true shame. And I like how he helps her be herself again. So overall, it was a pretty enjoyable episode. I loved it from start to finish. And overall, I would give it an 8.7 out of 10. It was really enjoyable, guys. So, yeah, guys, that concludes my review for Legend of Korra Book 4, Episodes 8 and 9. Join me next week, and as I plan to give you guys a lot more videos. Until then, guys, this is Richard Kenobi saying, be air, my friends. Take care, guys.